Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy. Hopefully the light will hold out long enough for us to do this quick pepper garden tour. The last tour I uploaded was actually from 2 weeks prior to the date that I uploaded it. So let's make this sort of snappy. This is my Greenstalk, and here I have a Caribbean Red Habanero. First time I'm growing this, and I have 2 plants, one in this Greenstalk leaf and one in the other Greenstalk original. And yeah, I've got some small fruits, but I've got some fruits. Next up for peppers is the Bikino, and I bet these are supposed to ripen to red. I've been eating them at this sort of dark orange. You see I've eaten quite a few, 6, I've eaten almost a dozen, and they're doing good. They're tasty. I've found them to be less hot than a jalapeno, and they got a little bit of fruitiness to them. They're not super sweet, but they've got a nice little just a nice little kick of heat. And then this is a volunteer, and it's clearly a jalapeno. It could be a not a pino, but I presume jalapeno. All right, let's move on. Oh yes, and here's my Queen Lori. This used to be in bed 2 under the mesh, and I don't know why her leaves are all contorted like this. I can only presume it's because she's been smushed under the mesh and she wanted to grow taller and reach and flourish, and she couldn't. This is the second time I've tried to grow this plant, and with no success. I do actually have 2 of these, and the other one's in the Greenstalk. I took this out this last weekend, I think, so it's not been a week. I do see some flowers. She looks a little bit better, and this is a rather small pot, I think 3 gallons. So we'll see. Okay, so here we have what I call bed 3. Now, the main reason for the mesh was not the peppers. I won't do that again. I did 2 things. I wanted to grow peppers in these raised beds, but I didn't want to take the mesh off because it was protecting them from the groundhog and whatever else was eating the plants when they were young. And while they have been pollinated, I've got lots of peppers. This has been good. They also can't grow tall, and despite the mesh, I have had an aphid issue in here. You see some of the curling of this lunchbox pepper. So this is a volunteer, and I believe, well, I was going for cayenne. I'm sorry if I was all over there. I was going for cayenne with this pepper, but now that I'm really looking at it, Jimmy Nardello all the way. I'm almost certain this is going to be a Jimmy Nardello, which is great. I love Jimmy Nardello. And there's a lot on here. A lot of flowers. Good. This is a Cubanelle. I should go ahead and pick this because it's on the ground. These are the first ones. I've got one other that's sort of kind of ripening inside. What are you stuck on? But you see, these are very productive plants. Ooh, I need to free that guy up. Yeah, they're very productive plants. This, that's a lunchbox. It's kind of slowing down. I've picked some off of it, and some have also been knocked off of it. This is a golden Marconi. I picked 2 off of it that were ripening. I'm gonna eat them tonight. hopefully. And I'm pleased to see that it is putting out other flowers, even though it's looking, I don't know what's going on with this, if it's from the aphids or if it's from it being stunted by the mesh. By the way, here's the cubanelles. But I'm pleased to see that it's trying to grow some more. The two that I picked are massive. Here is another cubanelle. Again, pretty loaded. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 peppers on here. I've got one flower left, but you see we've got some disease going on here. It is the end of the season. So this will, last year I didn't get any ripe ones. So yeah, see there's a tiny hole there. Hopefully it doesn't make it inedible. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, this is the bed that used to house the Queen Worry, and now only houses this Jimmy Nardello, who is also looking pretty scraggly. No, this isn't all bare soil. I did plant a bunch of seeds, several different kinds of kale, and some onions. So yeah, this Jimmy Nardello is really struggling. Alright, next, these are 2 more lunchbox peppers. I decided to go ahead and leave them exposed. I see they've had a couple of peppers knocked off, and they're kind of looking stunted, but they look like they want to produce. But the most exciting part of the pepper tour is over there. Let's go. These some more fall gardening. All right, here we are at the main pepper garden. It's pretty, isn't it? I used to have this mesh all around, and I'm taking a chance the last couple of nights by not covering it. I've had raccoons and groundhogs messing with the plants, and I don't want to say what I think, but they're uncovered right now. Anyways, beautiful, right? Because isn't that great? All right, let's go. This is another cubanelle. This plant I actually accidentally have damaged. This one's not as productive as the others. We've got 2, 3, 4. I mean, but it's still doing its thing. Here we have a Jimmy Nardello. This is one of the cubanelles. This one is looking more like the volunteer. It's not super crazy productive. I've also broken a branch off of this one that had several peppers on it. This beauty that wants to keep showing itself, look like little Christmas lights, is the royal black pepper. They start out this beautiful, beautiful purple, and then they start to turn kind of a orangey color, purplish orange, into a red. I don't think I've had any reds yet. I've eaten a couple that were just about red, and I didn't have the patience. And they're hot. They are hot. Let's see. Look at this little beauty. Yep, this is probably the reddest one. Oh man, I should eat it. Okay. I'm gonna eat the whole thing, okay? Oh, I'm gonna eat half of it. Show you the inside. Ooh, right away heat. I don't have a high tolerance. I've been trying to build it over the years, but right now I've not been building it. I mean, I know every year, like, you got to keep building it up, and you don't eat peppers. Anyways, jalapenos I can handle. I mean, this isn't super duper hot, but this is like a hot. It's got a stinging burn though. immediately the back of my throat was on fire, like right away. Oh man. I know this is the hottest part. Well, my mouth is already dealing with the fire. My nose is running. Not a whole ton of flavor. A burn. A little bit of like citrusy. It's not super flavorful, but I bet they're fun to pickle. And they're really pretty. Okay. Wait. I got that all wrong. Oh man. I called that the royal black pepper. This is black jelly bean. Oh, okay. Black jelly bean. This is this one here in the middle. Orange pepperoncini. By the way, I've never grown black jelly bean before. And this plant is looking okay. Wish I had a tissue, but it's the end of the day and no one's watching. My shirt will work. I need to record this and I could take a break, but since you didn't see me eat it, you can hear my suffering. Okay. Orange pepperoncini. I think I grew this last year, but not successfully. So this will be my first time with this bad boy. Aren't they pretty? I do believe they ripen to orange. And there's a lot here. Don't confuse it with its neighbor, which is the Zabrange. I've never grown this interesting looking pepper either. But this is a tall plant, and it's pretty prolific. These guys here. Okay. I think I'm okay now. This is a Nardello. This Nardello has been beaten up by critters, and I pulled one off of it, and I'm super relieved to see that it's making a comeback. I don't know if I should let them stay to ripen to red. They might just get beat up. Let's go ahead and move to the Greenstalk since we're next to it. I'm 100% certain that this Greenstalk is not done well because it's not level. And there's probably other reasons, but this is a Nardello. I think I got one off of this. Looks like I got a flower here. This is Queen Lori. I thought she was dead. She's making a comeback. I don't think it'll be in time though for anything to happen. Here we have Bikini blend again. And obviously the lighting is also an issue, so I have to turn this or else this side stays shaded. But look at, you see that this grew taller and now it's really taken off up there. And its neighbor, the royal black pepper, is kind of taken off, not real big, but growing more also at the top. Okay, here we have St. Lucia Island. I've tried to grow this before. Oh, by the way, I've grown Nardello before. I like them, thus I'm growing them again. I think I tried to grow Bikini before, but not with a lot of success last year. You've already heard me talk about Queen Lori. St. Lucia, I have not grown successfully. And I got one out there in a small bucket, and I don't know, they don't like me in my conditions. Okay. Here we have a Sugar Rush Stripey. I've got one. I don't think this plant is happy with, I think I think turning, okay, I've got 2. And we'll see, maybe 3 and 4. I think turning it is not enough for this guy. Never grown it before, never tried. Cascabella, I've never grown before. This plant is really suffering. Oops, sorry. This plant is really suffering. Tap that one. And I'm sure that's all I'm going to get. This is the... I forgot about you. New Mex Lemon Spice is this plant. See, it's reaching out, and it's... So the lighting, it's not just the fact that this is not level. The lighting is really... These guys aren't happy. So we'll see, because it is September 5th today. We'll see if they have time to grow and ripen. I don't know. I don't know that they do. Okay, here we have another Caribbean Red Habanero that I allowed a volunteer bean to grow. Well, it wasn't exactly a volunteer, but that's for another day. And it's growing. Look, we got one ripening. I've never grown a habanero before, and that is, I think, the hottest or one of the hottest peppers I've ever eaten. And I know they can get a lot bigger than that. But this plant is kind of wanting to do its thing like the others once it reaches up and gets constant sunlight. Okay. This is a yellow cayenne. I've grown them before very successfully. This guy is not successful. I've harvested one off of it. And the ones I grew last year were very, very prolific. So I know it's not just me. Okay, here we have orange spice mine. So that means these are from seeds I saved last year. And there were a couple that were damaged by the raccoon, but it has been taken off. The shape of the ones, this is looking like it wants to be more red than orange. The shape of the ones I grew last year, I better hurry, were kind of fatter, thicker. So it's interesting they're taking on this shape, especially since they're saved seeds. Here we have, this is a unstable hybrid, Chupatino Ninfodora. I have 4 of these plants. The ones in the Greenstalk are not happy. Here's another one of those, not happy. This was my shishito that the raccoon tore off, and I didn't revive the plant. It's not gonna do anything. This is another royal black pepper, right? Are we back around? Yes, we are. Did I miss anybody? No, I did not. All right. Let's go ahead. Royal black pepper. Cute little plant, isn't it? You see that even in the Greenstalk. The Greenstalk ones are actually growing. The peppers are slightly bigger, but the plants are much smaller. Okay, I showed you the Nardello. This is, this is the orange pepperoncini. Tall plant. Over in here, we have the Pineapple Roccoto with the fuzzy leaves. Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. Get off me. Aha. These guys are growing nicely. All right, this is that plant. Got quite a few there. That's going to be a hot, probably my hottest, maybe hotter than the habanero. I have to look that up. I don't know why this guy's, I just watered the heck out of this. Maybe I watered it too much, but they were looking pretty shady back then. This is another cayenne pepper. It could be a red cayenne. I grew a cayenne blend. Okay, this is another Chupatino Ninfodora. Again, an unstable hybrid that I was excited to try. And look, we actually have Now, when I bought these seeds, I was encouraged to plant more than one because they were said to have variegated leaves. Some have a dark variegation and some have a lighter variegation. I've noticed that mine, this one has like a washed out variegation, whereas the second one, which this is technically my single seed challenge plant, and this guy got eaten down and was darn near not worth keeping, but you see that it's made an amazing comeback. It's quite a large plant. It's quite a large plant, and it doesn't, I mean, if you get up on it, which is really interesting to do with the light, the backside of the leaves are green, and that's a dark purple depending on the angle. But again, here's its sibling, right? Kind of more washed out leaves, and I guess it has some washing out of the older leaves, but this one is a little bit behind in production, which I'm not surprised. But yeah, again, we've got little guys. This is obviously a red cayenne, right? Pretty sure. Kind of also got beat up. I see that it's growing really small peppers, but it's trying to do its thing. This is a Jimmy Nardello, and we've got some nice production on here. This one looks like it might be thinking about ripening soon. These guys up top are much smaller, unless, yep, these are cayenne. So like I was saying, the cayenne are very productive in my experience. They're small, these guys are small, especially compared to last year, but there's a lot of peppers on here. And we've got 2 more to go. This is the Peter pepper. Next year, I'm definitely going to make this easier on myself. Okay, the Peter pepper is this plant here. You see it's a large plant, very tall, and it's producing quite well. And I am growing this plant for the first time for the Grow Big 24 Peter Pepper Challenge. Who can grow the biggest Peter pepper? And I've got a lot of peppers on here. I think I should feed this plant and see if I can get some even bigger ones. But actually there's 2 plants in there. And last but not least, my lovely single seed challenge plant from last year. Okay, it's not the same plant, but species from last year, the Ahi Omnicolor. Who did that to you? That's not fair. Let's pick you off. Last year I never got any that ripened on the bush, and I believe they're supposed to ripen from this white to purple to red, and the bush was 1. I don't know that I got any that big. Maybe 1 or 2. Here's more of the Peter pepper. Peter pepper. That's very, very prolific plant. But that plant had got, last year's Ahi Omnicolor got more light, and it got to spread out more, and it was quite a large but small plant. Here's more of the Pineapple Roccoto. Really pretty purple flower, right? But a green fruit and fuzzy leaves. That's why I believe it is a pubescence. But this is the first. Look at that. I think I'm going to take this one inside for safekeeping, because these aren't super hot if I recall. So this needs to finish ripening. Okay. Let's yeah. We got 2 more in the back. Got dark quick. These guys were totally getting shaded up front, so I decided to bring them back here. And this is the Zabrange. Again, right? Yep. Interesting shape, right? This is, I think, the biggest one on this plant, maybe the biggest out of all of them. But yeah, they're pretty prolific plant. I think they're cool little shape. I think they're hot. Here's another St. Lucia Island. She's got dug up before, but I don't think she's happy with me. So, okay, sorry for the lighting. Hopefully you can stand it. But that was my September 5th pepper garden tour, and I'm excited. I hope that last year I got my peppers in late, as I did this year. I got them started on time, but got them in the ground late, and they were neglected and kind of stunted. So I'm hoping, last year I had a bunch of peppers, but very few, well, not very many, I should say, that were ripe. I got a lot of the, like I said, the cayenne pepper, and that were ripe. So this year I hope that I get more ripe ones. Oh, and by the way, the orange jalapeno I have found to be hotter than a regular jalapeno. Tastier and hotter, but this shape is different to me. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you visiting the LP Dimension. This is LP. Be well, be safe. Bye for now.